Opposition House Leader.
Across Canada, residents depend on police, fire and EMS services. These services, funded by tax dollars, are facing high gas and diesel prices to fuel their vehicles that are on the roads in every community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The cost of fuel is in many cases blowing past emergency service budgets. Taxpayers in these communities can't afford additional increases in their property taxes to pay for these added costs. Why won't the Liberals scrap the carbon tax or lower the GST on fuel to not just help Canadian families who are suffering from high gas prices, but also for the emergency services as well?
Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Environment and Climate Change.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the honourable member for the question. And Madam Speaker, Conservative politicians are making a lot of misleading claims about the price on pollution. The facts are, and here are the facts, Madam Speaker, 70% of the gas price increase is due to crude oil prices going up, largely because of Russia's illegal war in Ukraine, and another 25% of the price is the result of provincial taxes and refining margins. That's 95%, Madam Speaker. And as the honourable member will know, 8 out of 10 families get more back in the climate incentive than they pay at the pump.
The honourable member for South Shore, St. Margaret's.
More misinformation from this government who refuses to deal with the issue of gas taxes. Volunteer fire stations in Nova Scotia are feeling the burn of your bad policies. The Chester Fire Department, in my riding, thanks to skyrocketing diesel costs, has doubled its fuel budget. Higher gas means reduced spending on training and vital equipment to keep our communities safe. The Liberals are forcing our volunteer fire services to pick between fueling their trucks and purchasing life-saving equipment. Will this government cut its excessive gas taxes to help our fire departments survive?
Secretary,
Madam Speaker, firstly, there's absolutely no guarantee that these companies will pass on any savings to actual Canadian consumers if we do what the Conservatives propose. And secondly, on this side of the House, we do believe that climate change is real, Madam Speaker, and we know that we need to act now in order to ensure that we don't pay huge amounts in order to meet the climate change catastrophe that is at our doorstep, Madam Speaker.
For Essex.
Madam Speaker, volunteer firefighters across Canada are called away from anniversaries, birthday parties, their job and family Christmas dinner to respond to emergencies and save people's lives. They do this proudly. We thank them for their sacrifice. Unfortunately, retention for these firefighters is very low for municipalities because the cost and burden is so high. Will the government respond to their emergency and give them gas tax relief for municipal budgets?
Madam Speaker, I'm actually quite surprised that we're receiving any questions related to the economy after a week in which the Conservatives fired their finance critic and seem to have forgotten to hire a new one. And why did they fire him, Madam Speaker? Well, it's because he thought that it was a bad idea for the Conservatives to impugn the reputation and the independence of the Bank of Canada. Perhaps he also thought it was a bad idea to outsource our monetary policy to Bitcoin. Madam Speaker, if the Conservatives would like to see real economic policy that will put money back into the pockets of Canadians, they have only to open their copy of the budget.
For Hastings, Lennox and Addington.
Page 6 of the Liberal platform promised to develop a safe long-term care act to ensure that seniors are guaranteed the care that they deserve, no matter where they live. Madam Speaker, it's been 7.5 months. Where is it?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Madam Speaker, I find it so ironic when Conservatives stand up in this House and pretend to support seniors. Mr. Speaker, since 2016 they have voted against nearly every single measure that our government has proposed for seniors. Just give you a few examples. GIS top-up benefit of $947 annually for the most vulnerable single seniors. The majority, Madam Speaker, of which are women, voted against.
Sorry. Order. It's very hard for individuals in the galleries and individuals who are listening on TV or on radio to hear what's going on when there's so much noise going on. So I would ask members to hold on to their thoughts until it's their turn to ask a question. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary can end.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And if you want more, enhancing the CPP by 50% for future retirees Conservative Party voted against this.
Shame.
Shame.
Madam Speaker, seniors know who's been there for them, and it is not the Conservative Party of Canada.
No.
The honour member for Hastings, Lennox and Addington.
Madam Speaker, clearly this member hasn't read page 6 of his platform. But I have. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown that Canada has failed its seniors, especially those in our long-term care facilities. The conditions that many seniors find themselves in is deplorable. Madam Speaker, what steps is this government taking to address the appalling conditions in our long-term care facilities?
Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Seniors.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to highlight the challenges of long-term care, including gaps in infection prevention and staffing. I personally have seen these challenges, and our government has made significant investments, including $4 billion to help provinces and territories improve the standard of care in those facilities, $41.9 billion in cash support to provinces and territories through the Canada Health Transfer. Madam Speaker, we will keep working with the provinces and territories so that we can fight COVID-19 together.
The honourable member for Calgary Rocky Ridge.
Well, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, deficits, monetary expansion, and consumer taxes like the carbon tax all drive up inflation, and nowhere is this more obvious than in Canada's housing market, where the price of housing went through the roof at a time of massive job loss and shrinking GDP during the pandemic. The government's response has been to pat itself on the back while a generation of Canadians give up on home ownership. When will this government get serious about reducing inflation, especially in housing?
The honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, we know that we need to increase housing supply in this country to give more Canadians the opportunity at home ownership. We also know that we need to help first-time home buyers with a tax-free savings account so that they can buy their first home. We also have banned foreign ownership of Canadian residential real estate to free up more homes for Canadian first-time home buyers. And in all those measures, and even more investments in affordable housing, they oppose those measures. So they can stand up here and talk about housing all they want, but when it comes to actually doing something about it, they have no ideas and they vote against it all the time.